In our last video, we talked about why trying to control your emotions directly is a losing battle. We introduced the CBT Triangle, which shows us that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are all connected. The secret isn't to wrestle with your feelings, but to focus on the two things that you can control, your thoughts and your actions. Now, if you missed that video, I very much recommend checking it out first for the full context. Today, we're going to get practical. I'm giving you a simple but powerful CBT toolkit with 2 core strategies to manage your emotions by focusing on what you actually have control over. There are 2 simple strategies that can act as the foundation of your emotional management toolkit. They are cornerstones of CBT, and they work because they focus on what's actionable. The first tool is cognitive restructuring. It sounds complicated, but it's really just the clinical term for learning to spot, challenge, and reframe the unhelpful thoughts that fuel negative emotions. This isn't about thinking positive or ultimately lying to yourself. It's about becoming more accurate. Here's 4 simple steps to engage this process. The first step is noticing the automatic thought. You start by getting good at catching the thoughts that pop into your head when you feel a strong emotion. These are often referred to as automatic thoughts. A journal can be your best friend here. When you feel a surge of anxiety or sadness, jot down the situation and the very first thought that came with it. For example, if you make a mistake at work, you may think that you're an idiot and that everyone there thinks you're a fraud. From here, you go to step 2, name the distortion. Our brains love shortcuts, but sometimes these shortcuts lead to common thought errors or cognitive distortions. Some common ones include all or nothing thinking, where you see things in black and white. If I'm not perfect, then I'm a total failure. Second is catastrophizing, when your mind fast forwards to the absolute worst case scenario. This one mistake will definitely get you fired. The third is mind reading, assuming that you know what other people are thinking, even when you have 0 evidence. And finally, labeling, sticking a negative global label on yourself. Instead of I made a mistake, it's I am a fraud. Actually, in our example, the thought that you're such an idiot is a classic case of labeling and all or nothing thinking wrapped up together. Now, the third step of cognitive restructuring is to challenge the thought. This is where you take a look at the evidence. Question that automatic thought like it's on trial. Ask yourself, what's the actual evidence that this thought is 100% true? What's the evidence that that thought might not be true? What's perhaps a more balanced or even compassionate way to look at this? And honestly, what would you say to a friend if they were in this exact situation? Pretty sure you wouldn't resort to name calling. And finally, step 4 is to create a balanced replacement thought. Based on your analysis, craft a more realistic and helpful thought. It doesn't need to be sunshine and rainbows, just more accurate. Instead of, I'm an idiot, a balanced thought might be, okay, I made a mistake in the presentation and I feel embarrassed, but those mistakes don't define me. Can you feel the shift between those 2 thoughts? The first thought fuels shame. The second one acknowledges the feeling, but opens the door to improve the situation. Our second tool is one of the most powerful and seemingly counterintuitive. It's behavioral activation. The big idea is simple. Activation sometimes comes before motivation. When we feel depressed or anxious, our instinct is to withdraw. We stop doing the things we enjoy, waiting for a good mood or a burst of motivation to magically return. But behavioral activation flips that script. It says that if you engage in rewarding or meaningful activities, your mood and motivation will improve as a result of the action, not the other way around. You can change how you feel from the outside in. Here's how to do it. Step 1, identify your avoidance patterns. Be honest. What have you stopped doing because you feel bad? Avoiding friends, skipping the gym, letting chores pile up, putting off a hobby you used to love? Make a list of these things you're avoiding. Just seeing that pattern is a huge first step. Step 2, schedule activities. Don't wait until you feel like it. Grab your calendar and schedule some activities for the week. The secret is to start ridiculously small. Don't schedule a 2-hour gym session if you haven't gone in months. Schedule a 10-minute walk around the block. The goal is to get an easy win and start to build momentum. Try to schedule a mix of 3 types of activities: pleasure, mastery, and meaning. things just for fun like listening to a favorite album, things that give you a sense of accomplishment like organizing one drawer, and things that align with your values such as calling a family member. Third step, do it even if you don't feel like it. Now this is the hard part. Your brain will hit you with, I'm too tired, or what's the point? Acknowledge the thought and then do the thing anyway. Treat it like an experiment. You are testing the hypothesis that nothing will help you feel better. Step 4 is monitor your mood. After you do the thing, take 30 seconds and check in with yourself. You'll often notice a small but real shift. That 10-minute walk might not have made you ecstatic, but it made you feel a little less numb. This gives you proof that your actions can influence your feelings, which makes taking the next step on that list a little bit easier. Now, behavioral activation breaks the vicious cycle where low mood leads to doing less and doing less leads to an even lower mood. You prove to yourself that you have the power to influence how you feel, one small action at a time. The endless struggle to directly control your emotions is a recipe for burnout. But by using the principles of cognitive behavior therapy, you can shift your focus to the things that you can actually change. You can become a detective for your own mind with cognitive restructuring, challenging the thoughts that are pouring fuel on the fire. And you can use behavioral activation to prove that small, meaningful actions can change your emotional reality from the outside in, even when you have zero motivation. You don't need to feel happy all of the time to be emotionally well. Emotional well-being is about having the skills to navigate the entire range of human emotion with awareness and self-compassion. It's about knowing you can handle your feelings without letting them run the show. Start with one small step. Notice one thought. Schedule one 10-minute walk. That's where real lasting change sometimes begins. I want to thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, consider subscribing for more practical tools and insights for your mental well-being. I'm Nackos, and I'll see you next time here on the Seaglass Perspective.